Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you run, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you run, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening. This is Network News for Tuesday, March 21, 2023. In the headlines, some thank God while others count lucky stars as passenger bus overturns in the city. Why the long wait? Questions go unanswered while police probe vehicular accident death. Electricity rates to be at their lowest in nearly 2 years. Medical practitioner delighted with the increased attention to clients on World Down Syndrome Day. In around the globe, regionally, solidarity in Trinidad for oil field and other workers who celebrate Bloody Tuesday. Internationally, police on high alert for possible violence if Donald Trump is arrested. Plus, in the sports news, Spice Boys ready for blockbuster game against the USA. Hello everyone, I'm Kenroy Baptiste here at Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. We'll bring you the details right after this.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. A scary moment was experienced in the city today. Nisha Peters reports on an accident at the intersection of Old Fort and Lucas Street.
It was a day on which many said, "Thank you, Lord," and counted the lucky stars. They encountered a near-death experience about 500 feet south of GBN headquarters just after midday today. They were passengers on a bus which travels the Old Wester Hall to St. George route. The bus arrived at Old Fort Junction with Lucas Street when the driver lost control. He told GBN that the braking system failed, and as such, the bus flipped onto its side. Our news crew witnessed several passengers with minor injuries on the scene. The police and a team of paramedics were dispatched, and some of the passengers were transported to the emergency unit of the General Hospital. Members of the Royal Grenada Police Force started their investigations on the scene as they obtained statements from the driver, passengers, and other eyewitnesses. The number of vehicles on the nation's road, whether people drive with correct classes or whether they have any license at all, have all come up as issues of concern in recent times. The rise in speed spate of fender benders has also sparked debate among whether the police should introduce a demerit system to mitigate the rise in numbers. Some have also called for a rollback of the provision which allows people to obtain a license by driving automated vehicles. Drivers who practice defensive and safe driving practices have also expressed concern that many see increases in insurance premium because of the multiple accidents being witnessed on the nation's roads. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
The wheels of justice sometimes turn slowly, and it's often a cause of frustration for aggrieved people. That's turning out to be the case for the family of a young man who was cut down in the prime of his life. Asher McIntyre died 2 Mondays ago, but to date, there's no word on progress in the case. Joseph Kado tells us more.
It's 15 days and counting, and yet there's no charge or detention following the death of 32-year-old Asher McIntyre of Mount Hartman, St. George. Family members are questioning the delay. GBN's news desk has placed several calls to the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force seeking a feedback on progress in the investigation. Officer in charge, ASP Simon Douglas, told GBN that the investigations are still ongoing. Upon further probing, the officer explained that an individual has been questioned but was not detained. The vehicle involved in the accident remains in police custody. It is alleged that the driver of the vehicle involved in the accident is the son of a former superintendent of police. The victim is also the son of a former superintendent of police. Family members are concerned that since no one has been detained or charged, whoever is responsible can skip the country because he or she is free to travel. Asher McIntyre was knocked down on the Maurice Bishop Highway by a motor vehicle during the early hours of March 6, 2023. It was reported he was on his usual morning exercise routine when he was struck by the vehicle. Autopsy results on the cause of death have not yet been released. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
Other news, it will be cheaper to turn on the lights, but the words of caution remain. Watch your consumption. As you hear from my colleague Rena Pear Thomas, the rate of electricity will soon be at its lowest in nearly 2 years.
Some Grenlec customers have experienced a drop in their fuel charge for electricity for the 6th consecutive month. This reduction of 20 cents per unit of electricity between September 2022 and March 2023 is directly due to a downward trend in global fuel prices, says Clive Houston, acting general manager of Grenlec.
Grenlec is pleased to inform customers that we've been seeing a decrease in our fuel charge over the last 6 months. From September last year, it was 87 cents, and in March this year, it has reduced to 67 cents. So we are extremely happy for that decrease. What it means to customers is lower energy rates. This trend, it means lower prices for customers, and with this we pass on these decreases to customers.
The recent fuel charge reduction have reversed nearly 2 years of monthly increases in the fuel charge. This period was categorized by rising cost of all goods and services because of external factors, including the higher demand for fuel that came with the global COVID-19 recovery, as well as development in Europe.
Fuel prices are always unpredictable. It's volatile in the sense that it can increase or decrease based on fuel market conditions, mainly supply and demand, but there's also external factors regarding geopolitical situations, conflict between various countries, and even weather conditions. So fuel prices can change, and it can change dramatically. While we are very happy for the decrease, the changes or increase or decrease is beyond our control.
At its highest point ever in September 2022, the fuel charge was 87 cents. Contrast this with a fuel charge of 20 cents in August and September 2020. Houston says that while they are happy that the current fuel charge of 67 cents is lower than 6 months ago, it is still relatively high.
While there has been a decrease over the last 6 months, we still believe that it is fairly high, and caution should be taken in all instances to use electricity very wisely, conserve where possible, do not use electricity when it's not required. Prudent management is always key for our customers.
The Deacon Mitchell administration acknowledged the impact of fuel prices and introduced a $10 rebate for persons reaching a certain threshold per month. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Those who labor long may tell you they sometimes feel that change will never come. However, the government is taking urgent action to bring forward change to the way people with mental disorders are treated. Nisha Paul tells us about new developments.
In October last year, Health Minister Senator Jonathan Lacrette announced government's plan to review draft mental health legislation, which has been in the pipeline for more than a decade. Over the years, society has displayed a level of stigmatization towards people suffering from mental health challenges. It's familiar territory for Sarana Mitchell, and she has been advocating for people struggling with mental health issues. She shared her experience with GBN when she appeared on a recent broadcast of our premier weekly Beyond the Headlines program.
Many of us have to come to the realization that if we do not get the ideal childhood, the ideal parenting, then to live our lives to the fullest, I think that we have to realize that there are people who are called psychologists, therapists, who can help us release a lot of those burdens that we've carried. We didn't have games night. We didn't, like some parents didn't want their children since in the womb. So as Doc was explaining, you feeling that emotion that you were not wanted.
Advocates have cited the need for adequate legislation to properly address concerns of families and members of the public impacted by the issue. According to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Kevin Andal, help is on the way. A consultant from the Pan American Health Organization will visit the island next month to assist with the revision of the laws.
This government, this ministry is embarking on reviewing that act, looking at the act collaboratively with all stakeholders to include the elements within the act that would reflect our present situation. Right. So what we have done is that we are partnering with PAHO through a consultant to start what we call the gap analysis. So what exists and what is the ideal and how we build that gap, how we bridge that gap.
There will be a 1-month consultative process which is geared at identifying the gaps and capturing new emerging mental health issues.
In the month of May, we are looking to go out to the communities, every parish, interacting with all the relevant stakeholders so that we can get feedback from the nation on what a modern day mental health act should look like. Once this is done, the next step is to deal with the respective human resource.
The Health Ministry will engage internal stakeholders prior to the public consultative process. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Now, Grenada's National Security Minister thinks the management of gun violence in the Caribbean extends beyond local borders. He says the origins of guns must be put under the microscope. Cherry Blackman-Stephen reports.
There have been concerns raised in various circles about the level of violence taking place in the country. And with neighboring St. Lucia crime rate rocketing in recent weeks, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is calling on those who engage in acts of violence to engage in positive transformation.
Second largest town in St. Lucia, 9 people were executed in 2 days. That's probably more than Grenada's entire homicide for the year. So for the 4 roads, the carnage and surrounding areas, put on your firearm, put boots on the ground and come and help work to build your village and your community. Thank you.
The Grenadian leader says the country's security cannot be taken for granted. With the police leading this fight, there will soon be a special task force to tackle illegal firearms. Prime Minister Mitchell, who is a father, warned young men that no good future awaits them if involved in crimes.
I want to urge our young men in particular who might otherwise be misled into thinking that there is some future in badmanism, criminality, or gangsterism. There is no future in any of these careers. And so we are already working with the Royal Grenada Police Force to have a dedicated task force that will be set up and implemented to address the issue of illegal firearms throughout the length and breadth of Grenada.
PM Mitchell, who also holds the portfolio for Minister for National Security, says security at the country's borders will be beefed up to keep firearms off the streets. His final words target North America to do more to prevent these weapons from reaching the shore of Caribbean islands like Grenada.
Both at a national, OECS, and wider CARICOM level, engaging with the Americans in particular, because the guns come out of North America. And they need to do more to stem the illegal trafficking of firearms, or legal in some cases, out of the borders and the ports of North America, which end up in the Caribbean. We don't manufacture guns, we don't make guns, but they find their way into our societies because they come out of North America.
The Prime Minister told scores of Grenadians during a town hall meeting that Grenada's legislation will also be beefed up to reflect government's zero-tolerance approach to violence, with penalties that will adequately reflect the gravity of the crime. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
We do for a break, but before we do have the break, we're getting reports of a fatal shooting incident in Gore of St. John. We are working our sources. We'll bring you more details as soon as that information becomes available. Network news still ahead from us. Medical practitioner delighted with the increased attention to clients on World Down Syndrome Day. Stay with us.
Grenada's premier junior track and field event is here again with a bang. The Republic Bank Inter-Secondary School Championship is back at the Kenroy James Athletic Stadium. You cannot afford to miss the intense rivalry amongst all our secondary school athletes in the field and on the track. It's Republic Bank Intercall 2023. The 55th Intercall Championship takes place on March 28th, March 29th, and March 30th, starting at 9 a.m. and ending 6 p.m. each day. Be there to experience the special attractions and more. Tickets will be available at the gates and from GoToFest. It's the 55th Intercall Championships. Bring your school, bring your past students, bring your families to 3 days of competitive track and field. You will not forget this one. Be there.
I come here for no stand up. Megaforce Promotions is heading to the East Side. Yes, East Side Grenville at Victoria Park. Saturday, April 1st from 6 p.m. for the massive East Side Cash Money Bingo. Yes! Grenada, we're talking serious cash. We're talking $75,000 in cash to be won. What? That's right. And tickets are only $60 or $100 for two. So organize your posse for this long-awaited mega event. Victoria Park, Grenville, here we come with the massive East Side Cash Money Mega Bingo.
For only the second time in history, the Spice Boys will battle the United States of America on home soil. On home soil. Grenada plays the USA in League A of the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24, 2023 at the Kenroy James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff time, 8 p.m. Get your tickets now. $75 EC for the lower main stand. $50 EC for the upper main stand. $40 EC for the secondary stand. And $25 EC for the bleachers. Tickets available now online at GoToFed.com. Grenada Canadian Optical in Grandad, Shirky's Bar opposite the bus terminal, Mix and Bites Gore, Shy's Bar Victoria, Calico's Sates, Maxie's Bar Grenville, and St. David Pharmacy. Grenada versus the USA.
Pulisic on the run. Pulisic has
Friday, March 24th, 2023 at 8 p.m. Be part of history.
Boy, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming. Karim, what you doing? Fly my kite. Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy. Why not? The wind good. Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity. Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, you can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked. Come, they're gonna fly them in the pasture. Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Island Style's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tiles to be had, with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tiles, store-wide. Buy all we have in a low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 50% off. Plus, get chip edge tiles for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandad or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can back my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA have been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy Loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
Network News, welcome back. In Grenada and some other Caribbean islands, some people use the word papi show Well, this evening we have a story in which a local activist is questioning whether a British woman wants to make a pappy show a fool of the Grenadian people. His comments are related to Laura Trevelyan's decision to quit her job to join the reparative movement in the Caribbean. Ras Zakari is among critics who shared his view on this development in an exclusive interview with my colleague, Nisha Paul.
Is it political gerrymandering? That's how Ras Zakari views Laura Trevelyan's decision to quit her job with the BBC after 30 years to join the fight for reparations in the Caribbean. Her announcement came approximately 2 weeks after her family made a historic apology for their ancestors' role in slavery on the island. On February 27th, Ras Zakari led a protest from Wall Street to the Grenada Trade Center, where Laura and members of her wealthy aristocratic British family apologized to the people of Grenada.
This family is using us as a stepping stone to gain the political power, because that's what it's all about, political power. And because I noticed she had something in Parliament in the UK, and being an American citizen and having somebody from Norway do the journal, and now talking about the reparation. You're joining the reparation struggle as what?
Ras Zakari does not believe that Laura Trevelyan's effort is enough to influence the colonial powers to move with urgency on the controversial issue of reparations.
I do not think her joining any movement for reparation will make any type of a difference. I don't believe that they would have any influence on the government. These people, it's about power and war and struggle. So all I see going on there is a bunch of political posturing. I don't think anything will come out of that, because our struggle is about resistance, and that is what makes the difference. When the people rise up and take what they want. Because waiting on them to give us something, they ain't gonna give us anything, sister.
He urges the Reparations Commission to engage in mass education on the issue of reparations and its importance as descendants of slavery.
First of all, you have to give people a sense of purpose, because people would not fight for something if they don't see themselves into it. They have to see themselves, because right now things are bad with the roots people. They're suffering. So they have to see that they have to get up and fight the system that is oppressing them. A lot of people want results, but they don't want to work. They want it to be given to them. Nothing is given to you. You have to take what you want.
Ras Zakari believes this is key in getting people to buy into the fight for reparative justice so that they get the desired response from the oppressive system in a meaningful way. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
If you saw people walking around with mismatched or colorful socks today, no, they did not lose their marbles. They were also not necessarily in a rush when getting dressed. Instead, they were standing in solidarity with people who have been impacted by Down syndrome. That story comes from Rinapet Thomas.
Be with us, not of us. Those were the watchwords today as Grenada and other countries called attention to people born with triplication of the 21st chromosome. Pediatrician Dr. Beverly Nelson is one of the directors of the Down Syndrome Association in Grenada. She is happy about the growth in the level of acceptance which is being shown towards persons with the condition.
We do have a loving society. And yes, we might not necessarily have all the jobs in the world, but I do believe that our people are kind. Multiple persons with Down syndrome in jobs. And I think because we're raising awareness, companies are now opening up their businesses to including persons with disabilities on their staff. And so it is a better time for persons not only with Down syndrome, but with disabilities in Grenada. So I think there is hope there is love, and yes, you can.
The Down Syndrome Association plans to better equip persons with Down syndrome. This comes with the hope to acquire a plot of land to build a multi-purpose center that will prepare clients for adulthood and the world of work.
And we are seeking a piece of land that is on a bus route. We've been begging for that piece of land for probably 4 years now. So I am begging the public, should you want to donate or you have in your family a piece of land that can be donated, because if we pay for the land, we won't have enough to pay for the center that we want to build. But we're looking for a piece of land on about a bus route because we want all persons to be able to access the center. And the hope is that we can have persons come in the center and learn new skills, maybe have educational series, be a fun place for them to play and have activities together. It is going to be a home for Down syndrome persons in the future.
Dr. Nelson, who is also a parent of a child with Down syndrome, encourages everyone to take part in this year's activities and give support to persons with the condition. The remaining activities for this year's observance include a swim your socks off this coming Friday and a walk your socks off the following day. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The nuts and bolts of customer service are at the heart of a training program which will be activated by the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. GBN's Christina John has been speaking with its representative, Arlene Friday.
The Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association announces the launch of its new Caribbean Supercharged Training Series initiative in partnership with the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association Education Foundation. The event will be launched at the Bay House Grenada in Jean-Anglais, St. George on Wednesday, 22nd March. The training program is designed to provide local hospitality and tourism professionals with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel in the industry. According to Arlene Friday, CEO at the GHTA, it is hoped that at the conclusion of this training, Grenada will remain a top destination for travelers seeking an unforgettable Caribbean experience.
So this is a way to kind of reinvigorate, recharge the entire industry, and it's an inclusive way to invite everyone to be a part of this type of nuts and bolts of customer service, the nuts and bolts of food and beverage industry as well. Also, I mean, what's really key to this training is that it's also going to help people to find different ways to reduce operational costs, to make businesses more efficient, run more smoothly. So again, we're calling everyone to be a part of this.
Trainers will be brought in to facilitate the 7-day training session. Details on the training can be found on GHTA social media platforms. Ms. Friday says there will be a special incentive for participants from the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
So for GHTA members, this is Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. For members, it will cost 150 EC. For non-members, it will cost 200 EC. We want also the people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique to feel so a part of this training as well, that we're offering to those in Petit Martinique and Carriacou for 150. We're offering, whether they're a member or not, 150 EC. We're also willing to provide their transportation to and from on the Osprey for the first 24 people who sign up and register for this training. Let's provide free accommodation to those 24 people. But what we'd also like to do is hopefully set up a fam trip for those who work in the service industry in Carriacou, so they get to experience what it is like on the mainland as well, right? We want to make sure that service is standardized between all the sister islands.
The GHTA believes raising awareness on the initiative is vital for the continued growth of Grenada's hospitality and tourism sectors. By equipping professionals with the tools and knowledge to succeed, the industry can maintain its competitive edge and continue attracting visitors worldwide. The training will run from July 11th through to the 18th. Christina John, GBN News.
This evening's ISO Lens will zoom in on photos relating to an earlier story. We feature the issue twice in one newscast as part of efforts to stir national consciousness on this all-important issue.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's ISO is a colorful one, and it's a case of rocking those socks. The sock display is in keeping with March 21st being observed as World Down Syndrome Day. The United Nations chose this date to highlight the link between Down syndrome and the triplication of the 21st chromosome, which makes it unique. Here in Grenada, the Grenada National Football Team, Riverview Preschool, and St. Anne's Roman Catholic School show their support to people with Down syndrome on World Down Syndrome Day. The idea of wearing colorful socks is to start a conversation, so when people ask you about your socks, you can tell them, I'm wearing them to raise awareness of Down syndrome. This year's World Down Syndrome Day's theme is With Us, Not For Us, emphasizing that people with disabilities should be treated equally and have access to the same opportunities as others. Send us your ISO submissions via WhatsApp at 4053052 or our other social media platforms.
All right, still ahead in Network News, my colleague Beverly Telesford will have a report on a virtual Caribbean science symposium on water held today.
Grenada, after 10 years.
Hey, Grenada, this is Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and get this, I am coming to the land of spice.
The multi-award-winning Pastor Donnie McClurkin is back live at the Grenada National Stadium for one night of praise and worship, where your hearts will be lifted heavenward, joined by some of Grenada's finest gospel talent, Lexton Mitchell, Edson Mitchell, Ajabu, Spice Worship Ministries, Nicole Fletcher Newton and Company, Touch of Grace, and the PBC Choir. Tickets are on sale now, $50, and can be found at all major ticket outlets and at your local churches. Don't miss this unique experience with classic songs like Stand, We Fall Down, Caribbean Medley, Great Is Your Mercy, and many more. Friday, 7th April 2023 at 7 p.m.
Got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I want to see my Jesus. Here's what customers had to say about Domus Windows and Doors.
The service was excellent with Domus.
Excellent customer service.
Just out of frustration, searching, and just came across you, and I think it was the best, one of my best find ever.
A good feature is that I didn't have to install any burglar proofing on the door because they have laminate glass.
The manufacturing time was on point.
Thanks for what you all are doing. I will continue to be a customer.
Visit Caribbean Shutters, Windows and Doors for Domus quality UPVC solutions.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Easter is coming, and that means it's time to do some spring cleaning. It's time to upgrade and refresh your home today and save up to 30% off store-wide. Change off that old lounge chair, dining room table, or any furniture item now and save big. Plus, shop our large selection of appliances, televisions, and electronics for the biggest deals. No cash, no problem. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. This offer is available online at shopquartz.com for a limited time only. Act now before the deals are gone. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
Shop at Southern Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras ranging from solar cameras with or without lights, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4th channel, 8 channels, 16 channels, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, wall lamp or bulb, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Granada and St. George. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality product. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook today.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Hello, Grenada. It's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3, or Play Away. You automatically receive a quick pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Sisson's WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
We're back here at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. The Global Water Partnership Caribbean began its second virtual Caribbean Science Symposium on water on Tuesday. Beverly Telesford tuned in to the virtual symposium and has this report.
Science Symposium on Water, CSSW, is Conservation and Innovation, Changing the Regional Water Paradigm. The symposium, which ends on Wednesday, will focus on sharing research outcomes and bridging the gap between science and policy for the water sector. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell reminded delegates that the Caribbean region has a high degree of exposure and sensitivity to climatic shocks and underlying challenges in the management, storage, and delivery of potable water.
On many measures, Caribbean countries have made sustainable and considerable progress towards the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 6, which seeks to ensure the availability and sustainability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. As a region, however, and particularly as it relates to the impacts of climate change, the reliability of water supplies is becoming an increasing issue. Water security continues to be challenged by the increasing severity of extreme events such as droughts, hurricanes, and sea level rises. Sanitation, too, is an area of concern as much of our wastewater goes untreated into the environment.
Delegates are working with the Sustainable Development Goals 6 in mind. It is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. Its main objective is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. According to Prime Minister Mitchell, the Caribbean is not on track to reach one of the targets of SDG 6.
According to UN Water 2018, as a region, the average scope for SDG 6 5.1, implementation of integrated water resource management, is 34 out of 100. This means that the Caribbean region is unlikely to meet the global target unless progress significantly accelerates. It is clear that we must do better to build social, economic, and environmental resilience and sustainability in our societies.
Participants will exchange ideas on innovations and how to integrate new technologies in water processing and distribution. The symposium was organized by the Global Water Partnership Caribbean. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
All right, if you live in the St. Paul's area, your child has an opportunity to take home a crown. He or she can participate in the 2023 Little Miss or Little Mr. St. Paul's competition. Rena Pett Thomas tells us more.
The Reach Out Foundation continues to make a difference in the lives of individuals who are in need. One of the major activities this year is a Little Mr. and Mrs. St. Paul's Queen Show. Founder of Reach Out Foundation, Kashi Joseph, says the activity is geared towards bringing the community together while generating funds in aid of a family in need.
And I feel like most of the time we overlook the people that need help in Grenada. So a lot of people has been reaching out to me asking to do something different, asking for help with other things. So we decided to do a Queen Show to help people in that community. We also chose a family that we will be helping who really need this help. So the proceeds will go towards helping that specific family.
The audition will be held on Saturday.
So we have auditions on Saturday in Mount Airy Community Center. If you live in this area of St. Paul's, you can definitely come out, bring your children to audition. All you have to do once you live in St. Paul's in areas like Laborie, Mardi Gras, Good Hope, you come there and we audition. Once you do good, we add you to the list and you can take part in our Queen Show.
Reach Out Foundation, Inc. has been in operation for over 3 years and has been assisting many in need through hampers, welfare, and uniform assistance for students. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Looking forward to the event. Stay with us. We'll be back with the sports news, followed by Around the Globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Port. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Sporting fans, good evening. With a score to settle more than 20 years now, the Grenada senior men's national team is ready to battle on the field against the U.S. men's national soccer team. We get the rest of the details in this report.
It was a day on which many said, "Thank you, Lord," and counted the lucky stars. They encountered a near-death experience about 500 feet south of GBN headquarters just after midday today.
All right, we do apologize there. Let's move on for the time being. Yasid Richardson, remember the name, the 15-year-old MacDonald College student of Mount Alexander St. Patrick, has qualified for Carifta 2023. Yasid, who is described as having fire under his feet, is MacDonald College's reigning cross-country and road race champion. Just informed too, and the son of the iconic Stephanie Ferguson, who during her reign also made the Carifta team and won many medals, is creating a storm on the track. He will also represent MacDonald College at the 2023 Intercol Games next week. Henrich Claesson slammed a 54-ball century as South Africa beat West Indies by 4 wickets in the third and final one-day international on Tuesday. South Africa were in trouble at 87 for 4, chasing a West Indian total of 260. Claesson went for his shots, and the home side chased down the target with 20.3 overs to spare. The series was shared 1-1 after the first match was rained out. All right. I believe we can return to our top story at this time. In the sports news, with a score to settle more than 20 years now, the Grenada senior men's national team is ready to battle on the field against the U.S. men's national soccer team. Here's the report. All right, let's put her up to things for the time being. That's the sports news for now. The Oilfield Workers Trade Union and the Joint Trade Union Movement are standing with the Movement for Social Justice to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the protest demonstration in San Fernando in Trinidad. That day has been labeled as Bloody Tuesday. More details in this TTT News report.
On March 18, 1975, unions representing oil workers and sugar workers marched in San Fernando and were met by brutal police resistance as workers were beaten and attacked with tear gas and batons. Some were even arrested. Political leader of the MSJ, David Abdullah, said the police repression on the day must never be forgotten. He said their struggles yielded tremendous success.
A huge increase. They went on strike, but it was not called a strike. They came out, Texaco workers came out to pray for peace, bread, and justice, and they stayed out for some 57 days out of the job without pay, and eventually got a very significant increase in their wages and salaries. Sugar workers got 100% increase. Cane farmers got a significant increase in the price of cane.
Some still believe that workers aren't getting their just due. Fast forward to 2023, and the Chief Education and Research Officer at the OWTU, Ozzy Warwick, argues that workers are still being treated unfairly. Mr. Warwick is also a founding member and General Secretary of the MSG.
And this is why the celebration of this moment is even more relevant today in 2023 when we consider the state of workers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Oilfield Workers Trade Union and the Joint Trade Union Movement stand with the Movement for Social Justice in commemorating this particular moment in history. And we would like to again state and to emphasize its relevance even in 2023.
Mr. Abdullah called on the public to raise its consciousness and become familiar with our country's history in an effort to plan our future.
Further afield, police in major U.S. cities are preparing for potential unrest in case ex-president Donald Trump is arrested this week as part of a hush money inquiry. Authorities in New York, Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles are ramping up their law enforcement presence. A Manhattan prosecutor may charge Mr. Trump over how he declared a payment to a porn star to keep quiet about an alleged affair. It would be the first criminal case brought against a former U.S. president.
Law enforcement source tells CBS News that former President Trump is not expected to be indicted today or tomorrow, but it could come still later this week. Preparations, though, are underway in New York, both for possible protests as well as for the unprecedented logistics of arresting, handcuffing, and fingerprinting a former president. Police in Lower Manhattan are setting up barriers in anticipation of protests after former President Trump posted on social media that he is going to be arrested. The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating allegations that Trump falsified business records linked to a hush money payment to former porn star Stormy Daniels. The 2024 presidential candidate is urging his supporters to protest and take our nation back.
They're a different group that could come in armed. They could come in with explosives.
This evening, a small group of demonstrators rallied near the courthouse in New York.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Trump has long denied the accusations, while Daniels told 60 Minutes in 2018 that she was paid by Trump's fixer, Michael Cohen, to keep quiet about the alleged affair.
I was concerned for my family and their safety.
On Monday, the Manhattan grand jury heard from the potential final witness in the case, Trump ally Robert Costello. He says Cohen has no credibility and acted without Trump's knowledge.
If they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid evidence, so be it. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Trump also faces criminal probes in Georgia and Washington related to his attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, is reporting that a deadly fungal infection that is hard to treat is spreading rapidly at an alarming rate. More details in this report.
cases of this fungus are climbing at hospitals and nursing homes. The CDC says cases nearly doubled in 2021 and continue to grow. The CDC says the rise in Candida auris is an urgent threat. The World Health Organization last year ranked it as among the worst fungal threats facing public health. Dr. Monica Gandhi says it can be deadly for people who have weak immune systems.
People getting it through the skin into the catheters that we have, like IV lines, getting it into the bloodstream, and unfortunately then people can get really sick.
She says about 1 in 3 patients who are seriously infected die. Candida auris cases are growing. The CDC reported 756 in 2020. This jumped to more than 1,400 in 2021 and more than 2,300 cases in 2022. It is often drug resistant.
We have to pull out kind of big gun antifungals to use for this. So fundamentally, we need to get on top of cleaning things, using less antibiotics, good infection control practices.
The CDC says California has the second most cases in the nation. In September 2021, 2 patients tested positive in San Diego County at 2 separate healthcare facilities. Health officials recommend screenings to detect the fungus and taking special steps to isolate infected patients.
It is still very rare to cause serious infections. Those are serious infections. And really in immunocompromised people in long-term care facilities, raising the alarm is the right thing to do.
She says healthy people can be infected and have no idea because they don't show any symptoms. Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
A reminder of the headlines when we return. A reminder of the headlines before we leave you. Some thank God while others count lucky stars as passenger bus overturns in the city. Why the long wait? Questions go unanswered while police probe vehicle accident death. Electricity rates to be at their lowest in nearly 2 years. Medical practitioner delighted with the increased attention to clients on World Down Syndrome Day. In around the globe regionally, solidarity in Trinidad for oil field and other workers who celebrate Bloody Tuesday. Internationally, police on high alert for possible violence if Donald Trump is arrested. Plus in the sports news, Spice Boys ready for blockbuster game against the USA, March 24. All right. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. Thank you for having joined us. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
I've been using Omega XL for well over 10 years, and it's really a remarkable product. Some days